All right, welcome back to the channel. Deontay Wilder lays out his 3-fight plan to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Let's talk about that and the likelihood that that's going to be able to be pulled off in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, thank you to everybody that supports on the Patreon. Your support is massive, as well as the people that support on the live stream in the mornings, Monday through Friday, and also the live streams we do for OG Boxing Talk. Thank you guys so much for your support and your encouragement. That is a tremendous encouragement. Thank you very much. And also, let's just get into this video. Let's just get into this video because I'm just there watching what this guy is what Deontay Wilder's been trying to do for the last 4 years that he's been champion, and how he's defended his mandatories. He's successfully defended his title more times than any active fighter in boxing. How this guy has given spectacular show after spectacular show after spectacular show. And yet, because he is not run by a promoter, he is not given the same attention by the media that these other guys are given. Now, let me say that again. Because he is not pushed by a promoter, he is not given the accolades that he deserves by the media. The lineal champion of the world, Tyson Fury, who has no line whatsoever to any other lineal champion in history, none, because Vladimir Klitschko isn't one. He was the ring title, but he held the ring title. And I'm still having people come to my Twitter page telling me that Ruslan Shagaev was the number 3 heavyweight and Vladimir Klitschko was the number 1 heavyweight. So they fought. That makes them lineal. And I keep repeating to you, those are Ring's rules. They were the number 1 and number 3 banked by Ring. Ring Magazine is Ring Magazine. Nobody's arguing that this dude is not the Ring. He was not Ring Magazine's champion. We know he was Ring Magazine's champion. What I'm saying is he's not the lineal champion. But you have to have that debate because the media is so insistent on pushing something that some make-believe at you. And you've got to sit there and literally you got to go to the library and pull out microfilm and do all kind of crap like that to get your research together so you can disprove something that they know isn't true anyway. Because it's being pushed by a promoter. And that promoter is giving that media guy access to the fighters, which allows the media guy to eat. Because then he can write an article that he might get paid by the word to write, or he's under contract like Dan Rayfield probably on a flat fee to write. But they can't eat if they don't write. And if they don't write, and if they can't eat if they don't write, and if they don't get interviews and they don't get access to inside information from these fighters, then they're not going to be able to write in a way that's going to make them feel as if they can break news. So it is an economic cycle, food cycle between the promoter, the boxer, and the media guy. And they work together to feed us whatever it is that we're reading on a daily basis. But in the midst of this, you got a guy who, because he doesn't have a promoter, and you hear the promoter say it. You hear Eddie Hearn, man, this guy, if he had a promoter, Bob Arum, yeah, well, you know, if Deontay had fuck it, I'm not even gonna try to do his imitation of him. You know, if he had just had a promoter, there's nobody promoting him. I need to promote him. Give him to me. I can promote him. If you let me promote him, then the media guy's gonna write good things about you. But if you don't come sign with me, then the media guys ain't gonna say good things about you. Hey, Deontay, don't you want to be compared? Don't you want to be compared to the great to Sonny Liston? This is the most powerful right jab since Sonny Liston. This is the heaviest hitter since an early young George Foreman, right? You ever hear that? You ever hear Deontay Wilder being compared to George Foreman? You ever hear Deontay Wilder being compared to Rocky Marciano? You ever hear Deontay Wilder being compared to these historical fighters because of the amount of knockouts that he has and the length of his championship reign? No, you don't. Because these media guys are in bed with the promoters, and the promoters since the promoters aren't doing that for them, since they don't have to do it, they're not going to do it. They're going to do it for the they're going to do it for the fighters that the promoters are telling them or encouraging them to say it about. Deontay Wilder's not part of he's not part of that ecosystem. Because he's his own promoter, he's self-promoting, he's with the PBC. Fox News will put commercials on him, but they are not put commercials up about him, but they are not directly connected to this boxing media, to these boxing media guys, this established boxing media. But it is very, very refreshing to see that Deontay Wilder has a plan for how he could become undisputed champion of the world, and it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one. And it runs counter to the Mayweather, and I'm going to call it the Mayweather model. I'm calling it the Mayweather model, but I don't mean to insult Mayweather, because he was somebody that actually got to the point where he earned it. That is, who cares about the belts? Low risk, high reward. Cash out. Now, why do I say that's Mayweather? Because that's what Mayweather did during the last part of his career. It's very obvious. He fought in May, he fought in September, and he fought against guys with Spanish names. He fought on Mexican national holidays, and he fought people with Spanish names. If they were not Mexican, they had a Spanish name. And he let up the Manny Pacquiao. He took advantage of the counter programming that was going on with Top Rank and HBO with Manny Pacquiao. Took advantage of that, because as Mayweather became to the forefront and Manny Pacquiao was marketed as, the guy that could beat him, eventually they got together and he made a bunch of money, right? But before that, and that's why I'm saying had to get to that point, Floyd Mayweather was fighting killers from 126 to 135, and even into the 140s. And then he fought some very skilled, high skilled guys at 147. But that's what I call it: high risk, high reward, low risk, high reward. That's not what Deontay Wilder's doing. Deontay Wilder's fighting. His 3-fight plan is Luis Ortiz again. Luis Ortiz is a big, strong, counter-punching southpaw. Why? If he was really trying to cruise, it wouldn't be against Luis Ortiz. Then he's going to fight Tyson Fury again. Tyson Fury is a 6'9", very good fighter, right? One of the best heavyweights in the world. I don't have him as my number one heavyweight. I think that's ridiculous because of what he's done in the ring. I say that's ridiculous because what has happened in the ring over the last 5 years. Putting up a good fight against Deontay Wilder should not rate you over a guy that's been doing, who was champion before you were champion. He was champion before you were champion. He was champion while you were getting stripped and dropping your belts. He was champion while you sat around gaining weight for 2 years. He was champion when he fought you. He's champion after he fought you. But somehow you get ranked ahead of him because you gave him a good fight. That sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. And then you have but he's a good fighter, Tyson Fury. Won't take that away from him. Clearly the guy can fight. That's not easy. And then to want to unify with Andy Ruiz, if now in order for that to happen, Andy Ruiz would have had to beaten Anthony Joshua twice, right? In December, he would have to beat him twice. He beat him before, he'd have to beat him over there in Saudi Arabia again. If Andy Ruiz is able to do that, Andy Ruiz proves that he's a heck of a fighter. He's already proven that he's a very, very, very good fighter. But then that tells you how dangerous Andy Ruiz is. If Andy Ruiz can get rid of Anthony Joshua. First of all, I will say I don't mind him getting rid of Anthony Joshua. He don't need to get rid of Anthony Joshua, but if he can put a dent in Eddie Hearn, I'll take it. These promoters, I'm telling you, man, if you watch promoters on a daily basis, you're going to be more and more irritated by them. If you're somebody that really is into the boxers. Yeah, because, they're like promoters in a lot of instances are necessary evils. Sometimes over there in PBC, they're not necessary. They just evil. There ain't no reason to have them when you get to a certain point in time, not with social media and the ability for you to speak for yourself. And when there's avid and active boxing fans that will counter message what's being put out by the promoters media. But that's a rough road right there, man, for Deontay Wilder. Very rough road for Deontay Wilder. And if he's able to do that, that's a guy that you can compare with the all-time greats. If he's able to do that, that is a guy you should be able to compare to the all-time great heavyweights in the sport of boxing. Doing that. Not doing and I would prefer that over what the promoters media does, which is just to proclaim somebody to be an all-time great in order for us to buy the fight so that the fighter can then try to prove that they are. Where they put the cart before the horse. With Deontay Wilder, nobody's putting the cart before the horse. Deontay Wilder has 40 knockouts on his record against one draw. He has I said 40 knockouts. He has 41 wins and against one draw with 40 knockouts and has successfully defended his title 9 times. If he gets past Luis Ortiz, that would be 10. If he got past Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury's recovered and able to fight, that would be 11. If he got past Andy Ruiz and unified, that would be 13. That would be 13 successful title defenses, culminating in an undisputed heavyweight championship with a record of ridiculous number of knockouts. That's somebody that you start comparing and having conversations with about is he one of the great fighters of all time? And that would be the time that you do it. Not when a guy is 12-1, and a couple overmatched guys decided that they were going to quit. Not when somebody has only fought got a draw against one top 10 guy in 4 years because of some purposely confused fake title that they had that you hand them. Right? That's why I'm liking Oscar. That's why I'm liking Deontay Wilder. And anyway, for the media people that like to say stutter rap, that's called thinking. I'm not writing this. I don't have the luxury to write this down on a piece of paper and hand it to my editor so they can correct my spelling, or hand it to my producer so that they can make sure that they spend 45, 50 minutes of their time cutting and cut. What do you call those things? Cuts, just the cut, cut, move, whatever you call them. Cut transition. They're not doing it and all that, man. We don't. Their channel doesn't support financially that well, so you got to take it. You got to take it like you get it. But anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.